Have you ever had someone use theology as a weapon against you? You know, truth without love is cruel. And wait till you see why this matters. This is really cool. Job's friends, he's got three of them right at this point, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, they're committed to rigid theology. Good things happen to good people, bad things happen to bad people. They're thinking that Job must be guilty of some pretty bad things. Eliphaz comes across as condemning and rigid and harsh and superior and even legalistic. And Job pushes back hard in this. He calls his friends, watch this, miserable comforters. How'd you like that? Have that title as a friend of someone. He describes God is attacking him, yet in the middle of all of his anguish, he expresses this hope. He says in 16:19 of Job, even now, behold, my witness is in heaven. This matters. Why? Because Job is longing for an advocate, someone to stand between him and God. He is obviously pointing to Jesus. The book of Job is a long conversation introducing us to the coming advocate. He is telling us that we need an advocate because life is difficult. Enter Bildad. He's threatening and full of fear. Bildad doubles down. He describes in detail the destruction of the wicked. And Job, this is you. You're wicked and you're going to be destroyed. Bildad is cold and severe and judgment focused. You see, good theology without compassion becomes cruelty. And Eliphaz and Bildad, they're not completely wrong in what they say. The problem is who they're applying it to and how they're applying it. They're weaponizing truth by mischaracterizing the character of God. 1 Corinthians 13, if I speak with the tongues of men and angels, but don't have love, I'm like this gong, this clanging cymbal, right? Ephesians 4:15, speaking the truth in love. Job's friends assume that suffering is always the result of personal sin. Not all pain is punishment. Sometimes it's refining and sometimes it's spiritual warfare. Even in Job's suffering, he points toward the Redeemer. In verse 19 of chapter 16, listen, he says, even now, my witness is in heaven, right? And he who testifies for me is on high. And 2 verses later, in verse 21, he would argue the case of a man with God. He's talking about Jesus, and he's longing for an advocate. He's longing for Jesus. He just doesn't know who he is, and aren't you glad you know who he is? 1 Timothy 2:5, there is one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus. Why this matters? See, Job's friends show us exactly what not to do when someone is suffering. We're to weep with those who weep. We're to comfort those who are in great need. See, God can handle your honesty, your questions. And Job was questioning God, but he was still reaching out for him. What a lesson for us that in the midst of whatever we're going through, we still continue to reach out toward the one who loves us. Hey, if you like this content, we've got plenty more. We'd love to have you join us on this journey. And we'd love to have you comment in the section below what you love about the book of Job.